right. Hi, Cynthia. All right.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
We all here?
Hi, Sin. Well, Carol's trying to sign on from her phone. I think she'll get it in a second. Now, show your faces, beautiful people. I'm going to cry.
Okay. There's one other person popping on. Is that the other woman?
Carol, yeah.
Okay.
Look at you. Cynthia, I love you. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, let's ask to unmute you guys so everyone can hear everyone right now.
Nikaya's on mute. She knows how to take herself off too. She's not like a newbie.
This person looks like they're having trouble. Oh, they're in.
Carol, we can't see you. Can you take her off of mute?
Yes, unmute. I asked to unmute it.
Okay. Carol.
Yeah, I can hear you.
We can't see you. You've got to put the camera part on.
Honey, I'm trying to listen to you and go through the prompts.
Oh, okay.
And it's just not very cooperative.
That's okay.
So do you have
I have
video
patience.
yet?
Huh?
You can't see me yet.
No.
Oh, I've got to, jeez. I got to go into my settings to open the camera.
Okay, go ahead and sign off and go ahead and sign off and do it and then sign back on. Unless you can do it in your settings while you're on the phone.
Well, I've got to find where it's got that information.
I don't have the iPhone anymore. Nikaya, do you have the iPhone? iPhone, do you know how to, in the settings, to put the video on?
I'm still waiting.
Okay.
Yeah, you look fabulous, by the way, as always. This woman works 975 hours a day.
Okay.
Well, on vacation, but I think she works.
With video because I can't get it to.
All right, we'll do the first one without the video. It's okay. We'll get you fixed. Look at you, Cynthia.
Hi, everybody. How's everybody doing?
Hi.
So my name's Cynthia. I'm from Aspiring Magazine. I do like women empowering women events, and we do like a Aspire TV show, a little of everything. So Andrea came to me with your stories. I only have a few minutes today due to the fact that I'm on severe deadlines. To make a deadline to make the newsstands of the magazine, right? So
all 5,000 something of them.
So why don't you just kind of touch base and hear a little bit from each one of you, and then I thought we could give a long or in-depth interview. We could put it in the magazine. Does that work? And you can share your story.
Nikaya, everybody on board? Which means essentially, and I'm going to say this to everyone, and I'm sure that Cynthia will, and it's all verbal, so I need everyone to agree, is that this part of what you're doing, your day-to-day, that whole thing, and until the magazine goes out throughout the process of your interviews or anybody or anything, it's just not disclosed till the magazine discloses that part. Is that okay?
Yes.
Is everybody in agreement though? I need a verbal. If you're not, you have to just say it, be honest. I can't hear anyone.
I arrived.
I'm in agreement with it.
Cynthia, you're,
Okay, so everybody's in agreement. So let's start. Just because I really, really am pushed for time today.
okay, what I had, can I just interrupt 1 second and then I'll be quiet because you're the boss. What I had said was 3 to 4 minutes of boom. Hi, Carol. What
Oh, fuck.
every day is in the life of, and I'm sorry if it froze. What everything in the day of a life, just put in your fears and all of that stuff, and then kind of do it like that. And I've just got a couple of words, but it's a struggle, and for each one of us, it's different. So try and conceptuate that into a small. This is your sound bite. And then what Cynthia's going to do is she's going to send it to me and I'll send it to you and we'll put this out everywhere. However she wants to label it, if she wants to label it aspiring, however she does it, that's the suit in which we'll follow. Fair?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So
So
who
let's
can
start
go
with
first?
Nakia. Is that how you pronounce it?
Yes, Nakia.
Okay. Why don't we, just because we'll have a longer version in the magazine. So people only watch so much video, right? So in a short roundabout, tell us your story and where you're at with this.
Well, when this water crisis started, it had a tremendous impact on me and my family. My son and daughter had high levels of lead. I was pregnant with twins twice in 2015 and 2017 and lost my babies due to drinking the water. We're still struggling 7 years later. We still cannot drink our water here in Flint. People is thinking Flint is fine. We were not only immune to the lead in the water, but there was other heavy carcinogens in the water also. The mayor and everybody is like, we can drink the water, and no, we cannot drink this water. Also with the COVID going on, it's just been a mess. I mean, we can barely get water now, which we were supposed to still be getting free water, but as soon as you go to the places, I mean, the water is gone. You got to get in long lines and stuff, and it's like there's no justice for this crisis.
So the main problem was there's lead in the water, and then which led to deaths, right? And
Yeah.
so, correct. And also that, and the city was working with you originally, but now you're in a crisis of no water. So how do you survive?
Really, I'm buying more water, which I feel like I said, we should not have to buy water. When Governor Snyder was in office, he was saying that they would keep providing water to the Flint people, but after he left, it's like they quit providing the water. It's some churches that do provide it, but like I said, they only give you one case. If you got a family of 6 to 8 kids, what are you supposed to do with one case of water? And we have to do everything with the water. I don't even give my dog the Flint water. I give my dog bottled water like we get bottled water.
So what are some of the medical kickbacks? I know you mentioned there were 2 deaths. Are there other medical issues that you've had run into?
Yes. I had my son tested by a neurologist, and he has intellectual disabilities and also cognitive problems, which when this first started, Dr. Mona Hanna-Tisha had stated that these kids would have cognitive problems, and he does.
All from the water.
Yes, from the lead.
Yeah.
The lead is irreversible. So it's like 10 to 15 years down the line, these doctors can't even tell us what's going to happen to our kids.
And it's generational. Very generational.
True.
All right. Well, thank you for that. We'll have a more in-depth conversation, but we just want to kind of put it a little about there of everyone. Cynthia, why don't you speak next and tell us your story?
Hi, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Cynthia Haynes. Yes, my son was one of the
Can I tell
children.
you, you have a great name just to lighten up the mood a little
Oh, thank you. Ladies, forgive me. I'm pumping gas. Hold on.
This is our lives, by the way. Pivot and turn every 2 seconds.
Oh, okay. And so let me get back in the car.
All right.
Good afternoon, ladies. My name is Cynthia Haynes. Yes, my son was one of the lead children. He was at the age of 6 years old. He's autistic spectrum. And it was a little bit harder for me because with him already had autistic spectrum and then development delays. So I didn't understand what was going on with his behavior. And at that time he was like 3. So we moved into Flint, Michigan. I was living in the suburbs, and we moved into Flint probably approximately around by 2014. 2014. And he was about 5 then. He was about 5. He didn't get diagnosed to 2015. And as the first lady, what is your name? The lady that went first. Everything she said was correct.
Nakia Wakes. How you doing,
Nakia.
Miss Cynthia?
Yes. Everything she said is correct. They never told us nothing about this water. It was always boil the water, or don't run the water, 15 minutes or 20 minutes. They never told us about what was going on, that our water was contaminated. You know, they always had some type of excuse, or we're working on a water line, or boil the water for 15 minutes, don't use the water, or run the water for 15 and 20 minutes. And leading further down, kids were drinking. My son's situation was a lot more different. He is autistic, so he has eating issues, sensory issues. So it was only certain foods that he was only would eat. But basically, he was a noodle eater. He loved noodles and different things that I would have to boil water in. And as you know, when you boil water, it elevates the lead.
It increases it by
It
bazillion.
increases. Yes, and so he had lead in his system twice. It was so hard to get out. He was in a hospital twice for pneumonia. The people didn't even know what it was. They was like, well, what is this? You know, they didn't know what type of pneumonia this was. All they know, it was just some type of disease that they had never seen. And this was at Hurley Hospital. Still, we never even was aware of the water. Again, he kept on boiling his noodles, just different things that I would give him that I would have to boil the water in. You know, when I would give him milk or something like that, you know, different type of milk he was drinking. Well, it was really carnation milk, you know, and I would add a little boiled water to it, you know, for his vitamin D. Never, ever did they tell anybody what was really going on with the water until it came, I guess, until Sniger. Somehow Dr. Mona let everybody know about what was going on. But I'm not going to disrespect her but this water has been going on before through 2014. This water has had so much of contamination in it, not just lead, a variety of other elements. We have people have died from measles,
This is in Flint, Michigan.
Yes, Flint, Michigan.
So the state itself is familiar with what's going on, and they haven't done anything to.
I'll intervene here.
Exactly.
I will intervene here. Everybody knew, from the local all the way up to the feds, but please be understanding, Cynthia, that there is presently a lot of civil and criminal litigation going on.
Yes.
So, I mean, from my perspective, and we've talked about this, all of us, there's been so much of that has divided everybody even further, and the pointing fingers, and it's this one's fault and it's that one's fault. Believe me, there are lists.
Yes.
But none of that has helped. There are still people in Flint that are suffering every single day. And I'm going to tell you something. You tell me where you know that babies are getting diagnosed with cancer.
Yes.
Rear end only. That's number one.
Let's let Cynthia finish up, because we are on a short time today, unfortunately. So go ahead, Cynthia. Then we're going to go next to the woman after her.
So now the lead. So now, and they don't even want to say. Now my son is dealing with bones. He can't run. He can't play no sports. This just happened within the past 2 years, and because of the fact he was diagnosed.
This is all from the water, because of the water.
They don't want to say. He done seen 5 doctors. One want to say it's vitamin D. low calcium, low vitamin D, low rickets, what else they were trying to say, calcium and phosphate, but but they all say he's healthy. He's growing at the right age, puberty. No doctor really wants to say it, like the first lady said, they really don't want to say. He done seen 5 doctors. Right now, what is hurting me is that he's unable to play sports. He's unable to play. He's unable to run with the children. He's unable to ride his past 2 years. That's his bones are now affected, but nobody wants to say. No, he done seen 5 doctors and I still have not got the right diagnosis. On top of that, the water lines are still long. They're going to stop giving us water at the end in December. I volunteer. So I try to make sure that people get the right amount of money. At Bethel, they do give them like 6 cases. But, you know, the lines are so long. If you don't get there early, you won't get no water.
That's crazy.
Yes, but it's the truth. It's the truth. And we just had another chemical spill in the water. Another chemical spill in the water.
I
Right.
would love to get some more data on that. So we
I
can
have
write a
all
whole
that.
article as well as pictures of like of the long lines. Take a few pictures for me. That can
I
tell the
will.
story. People will understand better when they see this. Do you understand?
I'll take some pictures Monday when I go volunteer. I sure will, ma'am, for you.
Bless
We
you.
also do, we have footage and we have pictures as well if you need it.
I'll take all the pictures and send them to you, Andrea.
Please do.
Okay,
All right. Now, who's the next woman's name? I missed that.
Carol
Hi, Carol.
Kincaid,
Mine-
no relation to Scott.
Thank you. I've gotten under fire for that. It's phonetically, it sounds the same. End of story.
So, Carol, why don't you tell us your story?
All right, so much like everybody else living in Flint, we knew they were going to switch over the water, and quite frankly, there were no residents that were interested in that switch because we all suspected there was going to be a problem. And the switch happened. August 13, my partner of 20 years was hospitalized with pneumonia, and he died on the 27th. He used the water to irrigate his sinuses. He had 3 bacteria, pneumonia, infection. Now, actually, national broadcasting came in town. They did some research on him. It was not Legionella, so he wasn't featured. Do you hear what I'm saying? They didn't care unless it was Legionella. And as far as the contaminants in the water, we had mains breaking all over the place during the summer as well as in the winter. They would repair them. And what the lady said about boiled water is absolutely correct. And we all know that the boiled water concentrates especially the heavy metal contaminant.
Mm-hmm.
So I was alone with my partner gone. We were not civilly joined. There's no benefit for me to pay my mortgage, pay my utilities, take care of my car, carry water. At least he could help me with that. Nobody but me. And I refuse to drink this water. I will do nothing other than flush the toilet and wash the dishes. I won't have anything to do with it. And back in the beginning, they used different compounds, and one of them, I think it was an aluminum compound supposed to make the water safer. When the water's warm, like in a hot water heater or boiling, it outgasses PTHM, another forever chemical. And these mothers, I do not have children here, but I'm going to tell you something. These doctors, they had everybody, lesions, cortisone, Benadryl. It didn't work. As far as people getting compensated, there's very few doctors who even reported the information that was coming to them.
Right.
Everybody off. I went to the meetings at the pavilion behind City Hall. I did the right thing. And I'm curious. I've been living this way since 2014, and I'm so tired that there's no way out.
I'm sorry.
Carol, but let's get to that real quick, and I'm sorry to intervene before you end.
Yeah.
When you say there's no way out, I mean, I think that everybody's kind of feeling like
the
that.
offer to buy my house. I've got a 5-bedroom, 2-story house, and I was offered $20,000, which would include paying off my mortgage. Are you kidding me?
Wow.
Almost 2,000 square feet, plaster.
And what are they doing for people to rent? I mean, I heard that investors have gone in there and three
Yeah,
times.
there was a management company told my neighbor my neighbor's a renter, and somebody just bought the place about 6 months ago. They bought over 50 houses in my neighborhood. They could not do that, one, because of all of the crap going on at the turn of the century when all the houses burned. Two, Habitat for Humanity came and rebuilt in the empty lots. Now, if you own 50 houses in my neighborhood, you're buying Habitat for Humanity property. How does that happen? I mean, there's other houses like mine. Mine was built in 1914. However, I'm telling you, Habitat houses are everywhere here. There's hardly any structures up because they burned when everybody was what do they call that? The recyclers, where they were stealing the copper wiring out of the walls, taking out bathtubs, cast iron bathtubs. I mean, we have lived in the most horrible circumstance, and it just doesn't end. Okay.
Well, I'm sorry. And
Honey, you didn't make it happen.
well, I know, I just feel bad. We will get to it more in depth and we'll feature you all in the magazine. But like I said, we only have a short time, but we will be sharing this video
Understood.
everywhere.
Can I
Andrea, why
say
don't you tell-
something? Oh, okay. Go ahead,
Andrea, why
Cynthia.
don't you share your story now?
Well, I moved from Massachusetts to Michigan and picked Flint to be near my grandchildren. Had no idea what was going on. I recall when I got there, it was not at all what it had been before. And I started to look around, having been in a city and participating in things that was in receivership at one time. And everybody kept saying, oh, no, it's just EFM. I didn't know what that meant. There were some cultural differences, I would say, East Coast woman who, must have been pushy or what somebody might think is aggressive, but assertive. And that was a struggle. And I got sick really fast. Come to find out that the people in Flint had become immune to ingesting biofilm and things, not to the extent after the water switch.
But not yet. I wouldn't say immune.
Okay, but they had been used to it. It's been their whole life. It was their whole life. So we had never had that, at least not to ever that kind of extent. So I went down really fast, was misdiagnosed with MS, medicated for MS. They choked me down in any way and every way possible. And then they switched the water. I had no idea. I was just, thinking I was living with MS. I was having a hard time and I was living in my own world. My grandkids would come over and it was like a bubble. I had no idea what was going on around me. There were times where I thought, I'd be sitting there I have recollections of sitting there with kids and reading to my grandkids and all of these other kids coming over and maybe I did, I don't know. But, so a series of things happened and some people were questioning whether I had MS or not. Made some friends through Facebook in Flint, and I was on 1 minute and I was off 20, almost the rest of the 24 hours. And finally they convinced me to have my water tested after the state tested it. Well, it was less than 30, Nikaya? I don't know, less than 30 people who got a phone call because the levels were 15 parts per billion or above. I was one of them. I woke up fast and learned a lot. So time went on and finding out that, everybody was warned by letter, but tenants weren't warned. My son had scabs from head to toe. He lost all of his teeth. I was
deaf and blind people.
I was 78 pounds wet, and I don't know. What do you guys think?
Right.
And then I came back here, you
And
know, thinking
The,
that,
the foreign speaking people here in Flint, we have Indian, Pakistan, Arabic, Spanish. The communication was in English, period.
and
So
that's
you had to
something
be
I
able to
always
see.
fought. I always fought that, you know, because I'm from Massachusetts. It's got to be in every single language for the populations.
And
Absolutely.
we've got the school for the deaf here. There was nothing provided for the non-hearing or the non-seeing.
Right. Yeah. But back in Massachusetts, I came back and thought, well, you know, everybody here is going to want to help.
Right.
That wasn't happening. Number one. Number two, I was not.
Well, that you didn't.
I
don't
was
think you knew
not.
until Snyder said the Flint.
I was not able to even cognitively speak correctly as to what was going on. I wasn't able, I don't know people, I don't know places, I don't know faces. I have had severe memory loss. I have family still stuck there, and that's what they are. Like these ladies, they're stuck. They're stuck every single day. We get, even those of us who got out, do you know what it's like convincing the medical community, begging them to make sure that a medication they're not giving you is not going to interact with this, and this. And this is what we do. It is insane. I've got family back there. I got my grandkids, and I've never been more helpless in my life. How, you know, they took all the
We're
power.
gonna share this and hopefully get the word out. And then we're gonna do a more in-depth interview for the magazine, and that one will come out in the fall. Unfortunately, my August issue is actually gone to print today. That's why I'm on deadlines. And
That's
that
fine.
goes out August, will be out the first week in August, so I don't have time to put it in there. I will have an article written, I'll probably have, my writer, Christy Pratt, follow up with you all and write a whole story. She writes for the magazine. If you can all write my email address down and email me, it's
I can send that to them too.
aspiringmag@gmail.com. So it's ASP is in Paul, IRINGMAG@gmail.com. Go ahead and email me and I'll set up a thing with Christy Pratt and she'll start on this interview right away because she'll probably take time to interview all of you to write this whole article. I'll need pictures and, you know, and if there's others you may know that want to speak out, definitely reach out to them. We'll add them to the story. Right now I'm on deadline, so I can't stay on any longer. And I do apologize. And my heart
Thank you
goes
for
out
your
to
time.
all of you. All of
Thank you. Thank you.
you know, so let's get this out. It's kind of a preview of the interview. And then, like I said, we're in 50 states and we are in Flint, Michigan. So they're going to see the article.
Aren't you
Thank
in
you.
Canada too?
We're all through Canada. So we're all actually Canada's doing better than the United States. But we still sell out, which is good. So,
On what subject?
Yeah, so moving forward, it's in all 50 states. We're even in like Anchorage, Alaska, right? And Hawaii, right? We got plenty.
Wow.
So we're everywhere, So
Wonderful.
we'll take care of the story and we'll get Christy Pratt on it. And I thank you for your time, ladies, today. And hopefully, this is the beginning to get the word out, it's a start.
Thank you, Cynthia.
Thank
so
you
much.
very
All
much.
right, you guys all have a great day now, okay?
All right.
You as
All right,
well.
God bless
Thanks.
you. God bless you. Love you, Andrea. Thank you.
Bless-
Oh, I love you guys back. Cynthia will get this to me and we'll get it out. Okay.
All right.
Okay. Thank
Guys,
you.
stay
Thank you.
strong. I promise. You got